up?
Nothing. I'm just looking at this X6 thinking, why? Just why?
Well, get ready, because there's a Cayenne coming. It's going to look like that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well,
They've already, this past week, they showed test mules of a Cayenne coupe. They're hoping it's not called that, but it definitely has a raked rear like that. Porsche's thinking about getting in the game. I mean, they've got one. They're testing. So.
Well, the biggest thing with me is not so much the raked back. It's the fact that the ass end of it is so high. Like it's like the rear end of this thing is wearing fucking mom jeans.
Yep.
Like seriously, from the bottom of the bumper to the spoiler, it's got to be like 3.5 feet tall.
Now, see, I think that the BMW one really looks good. I think it actually looks good, but unfortunately, it's a completely unusable rear seat, except if you're a child. There's just no room back there. It's so weird. It's like, why would you get that over the X5 if you really needed an SUV to be able to transport people around? Because the X5 is monstrous inside, just like the Cayenne. The Cayenne's not an ugly-looking vehicle, so them coming out with a coupe, I can only think it's going to, be popular in places like Russia and places that the X6 is sold. Everyone says, "Oh, the X6 is ugly. Why do they even make it?" Well, they've made like over 100,000 of those things. I mean, they've made a buttload of those deals. They've made a lot of money on them, and people want them. Trashy people want them.
And people are wrong. The proportions are just wrong, is what gets me. Like, from the side, not so bad. From the back, terrible.
Yeah, I think that 3/4 rear is pretty cool looking, cruising down the highway. But, I like the lowered stance, crazy cars. I just think they look good. I understand that they don't perform well. And we obviously see them fly off the road in the videos and whatnot. But I mean, they do look good. I mean, I can't say they don't look good to me. But these BMWs are just so. You're right. This generation's gotten quite tall, kind of like the Chevy trucks, but the reverse.
Well, you know what I think it is. Like, as I'm looking at this thing, it doesn't have that whole golden ratio thing going on. I think that's what bothers me about it. Because the glass is so short compared to the rest of the back end. Like, you take your distance from the road up to the bottom of the bumper, and then your bottom of the bumper up to the spoiler, and then spoiler up the glass up the roof. It's very awkwardly proportioned from that perspective. And admittedly, some of that is I'm sitting very, very low, so it probably just makes it worse.
I put you up front for that Cold Creek Canyon run, so that way we can film it. And I don't know how much audio we're gonna be able to hear. I mean, I did figure out, I accidentally hit the microphone mute button, I guess, a few days ago or whatever. So if there's any sound, we'll get it. But you chasing the S2000, chasing the STI, I think that'll be a fun kind of snow video to put together. We didn't really run into too much traffic through the fun part, so I'm hoping that ends up being something neat to look at.
Yeah, we really weren't going that fast either. I mean, I was just trying to drama it up with noise.
So you're on Super Sports right now, or PS4S?
Yeah, I'm on 4Ss.
How did they do in that cold?
Pretty good for the most part. Like, I think the biggest thing is just all the crap on the road. The tires themselves are actually relatively warmed up. Like, I was running, so these start off about 30 pounds around at, say, 40, 45 degrees. And like that entire canyon run, when we parked for a little bit, they dropped down to 33, and then once we got back on the road again, they went back up to 35, 36 pounds. So they've got some heat in them, and they were running some heat in them. It's just the road surface was kind of crappy, and I was I was kind of babying it anytime we got into one of the shaded areas where it was obvious it was a lot more damp and cooler, and I pushed it on a couple of the switchbacks since it was relatively low speed, and just to see exactly where it was. And I did manage to get it to skip a little bit, kick the back a little bit on it, but for the most part, it held on really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I was hearing my snow tires actually squealing a bit in through some of those corners, and then it kind of got me thinking, like, holy shit, he's on summer tires, man. He's really adventurous today.
Yeah. Well, I actually heard your squealing from behind me.
Oh. Yeah, I was trying to keep up with you guys, but I got a lot of weight to deal with, and
yeah,
just keep the throttle down and hope it all kind of works out.
Yeah, like I said, I was just trying to make as much noise as I could where it was appropriate to make noise.
Yeah, I don't
especially with Rockwall next to me.
When you did that whale fly by on that bicyclist, I don't think he was so happy about that.
No, I don't think he was either. That's okay.
I toned it down. I put it into a higher gear and just quietly tried to assuage the situation so that way he doesn't end up on the phone later with Botnick screaming at us. But you had a very wide berth. You had a very wide berth.
Yeah, I gave him a full lane worth of, Yeah, I was making noise on the way by, but there was no way I was cutting it close in any way, shape, or form. And part of the reason it was so loud was I was in first fucking gear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Botnick would not be happy just because you were going over 5 miles an hour within, 50 feet of him. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But you did give a wide berth. So I feel like you were being respectful from a physical perspective, but from an auditory perspective, you were basically saying, "Hey, bicyclists, what are you doing up here in these conditions?" I heard it twice.
I was actually up a little bit too high in the rev range. I needed to be down just a little bit more to get the maximum poppage.
It's funny how you like that rev down poppage. I'm more of a I like to accelerate and hear the whale go up.
I like both, but mine doesn't. Yours is noisier on upshifts than mine is. Like mine is a burp kind of a thing.
Were you in Sport Plus?
Even if I'm in Sport Plus, it just goes burp. It doesn't make any, it's not, yours is a lot louder when it does that.
Huh.
Hold on, there's a lot of traffic around. I'm going to hold on to put on Sport Plus here in a second. I also got to figure out exactly how fast I need to go because it shifts at red line, so.
So when you have the top down, you probably can't use the phone too well, right?
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah.
That was part of the reason I put the top up for the way back. That, and I figured we'd also be on highways, and highways are not so fun with the top down.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not terrible. But that's just more like sitting in the sun.
You definitely got me back with some rocks, but I mean, nothing to write home about.
Oh, that was really weird. I saw you talking, and it's like a 1 second delay.
Ah. Yep. I guess that's just the satellite.
Yeah.
Or the cell towers. It's funny. I heard it through my audio system more than I heard it in real life.
That's funny.
It sounded like you were in a tunnel. helps having your motor right behind your ears, though, I guess.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I missed out. That's the only thing I really miss out on with the top up is topping. Like, I mean, I can roll down the window and get some of it, but it's not like it is with the top down. The top down, it's just you get everything, and it's glorious. Top up, it's it's what you expect. It's engine noise, which I'm also a big fan of. Like, I love the noises this makes once you get about $4,000.
What's really remarkable is that how compliant in Sport Plus mode is. I mean, and maybe it's just my snow tires. I'll have to put a real proper summer tire on it to see what this thing does, but it doesn't really beat you up that much as long as the pavement's not completely riddled with potholes. And
yeah, I think some of that though is just Porsche figuring out how to properly do the suspension on it, because that's like the difference between PASM in the 987 and PASM in this are two completely different animals. Like you can tell when in the 987 when PASM is in normal mode, you noticed it when you first drove it. You were like, this feels really kind of like floaty and big. And as soon as you hit the button, like the car gets super stiff. You feel everything in the road, like the car feels proper. But again, you feel everything in the road. This car, switching between the two modes, it's almost like this is in between those two modes. Like it's compliant, but still good no matter what you do.
Right.
I heard that come through the phone.
Yeah. I'm thinking that the way I was pointed, and I believe I had the car on, I may have actually been able to see all that mayhem as people were pulling out and almost getting hit by cars.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, like, yeah, that was kind of...
I was for sure that 4Runner was going to plow into somebody. I mean, he was in the left lane.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And then the bike went down, and they I expected that to be a little bit longer. They picked him up, threw him on there, and away he went. So I guess he didn't bend anything. And then the 19 Miata's pulling out, not looking to the left.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be an accident there for sure.
I thought so too. I'd have to look at that angle again because I was looking at it thinking, why can't they see that? And then it occurred to me, maybe they're just sitting so low they can't see anything coming up around that corner.
Yeah, and I mean, the adrenaline's going. Everyone's, you're hearing all the exhaust and everyone accelerating away, and you don't want to get left behind. And so it's just this,
Yeah.
You don't think about all the things that you would normally do if you're by yourself in a normal traffic situation. I'm sure that's some of it.
Update, I have turned off sport mode and PASM, and I am riding comfortably. Smoothly.
You
quietly.
you have 3 settings for PASM on that car?
No, it's just 2, on and off, or normal and sport.
For the box, for this 981?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I figured that you would have a 3rd setting for the Sport Plus that it has.
No. Sport Plus, the only difference is that Sport Plus automatically changes it to Sport PASM.
You get faster shifting, and you get, what else? Less traction control, I guess.
Yeah, less traction control, less stability control, change shift points. Like I'm going to put it in Sport Plus now. All right, so Sport Plus, it automatically. Okay, there we go. I'm now running at 6,400 RPM.
No, I can hear you popping from here.
Yeah. Actually, we'll leave it on.
Yeah, you develop the exhaust the way they have that exhaust tuned, because our displacement's not too crazy different. It's definitely a higher tonal pitch. You know, I mean, it's a lot of like a firecracker kind of pop, a higher pitch pop. But it works well with the wail that motor has because there's no turbos drowning it. You know, it's a good balance.
Yep, I agree. Interesting too, shifting in Sport Plus, even just manually, it still does that kick you in the ass thing. So like when you shift, you can feel the car like push you forward.
Right.
It's kind of a weird feeling. I would kind of expect it to be a little bit smoother when it does that. Because if you're on the track and everything, and like it does a shift at some point, you really don't want to break traction. Then again, that's also. Go ahead.
There's as much gravel and rocks on this stupid road as there is where we were.
See, I'm not getting much from anyone in front of me, but it may be because I have. Oh, now I'm getting some.
Yeah.
And maybe because I've got stickier tires that are warmed up. And it's like 60 degrees here, so.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's 65 out. Wow.
Which is awesome. That's part of the reason I was driving around yesterday. I put the top down and drove around the city because it was like 60 to 64 everywhere I was going. So it was like super pleasant, nice. Making the car echo off buildings. As you do.
I'd like to hear the difference of like an AWE version of that, for the 981 to see like how good did Porsche really get that PSE?
I'm curious about it. My only difficulty is I just want to find someone else who's done it, because I am absolutely not willing to spend the money to change this exhaust.
Yeah. We need to find
just
someone.
I like it so much.
We need to find someone that has one locally that we can compare the differences just to see.
Yeah.
I bet you
or even if we can
they're
find
similar.
Yeah, or if we can find someone who doesn't have a sport exhaust, who needs an exhaust.
Yeah.
And then convince them to buy that one.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Franny liked hers so much on her 987.1 that when I told her what I got on this, she was like, "Oh yeah, they make great exhaust. They just wail. They just sound great." And I'm really, now that I've gotten it kind of broke. I don't know if it's broken in. There's no mufflers to break in, but I mean maybe it's just me getting used to it. I'm very pleased with it, because I mean I can be cruising here in seventh gear at 77 miles an hour and I barely even hear anything.
Yeah. I hear more. Actually, with the car the way it is right now, I hear more just exterior noise than anything else. Oh, and tinted rear lights on a Cayenne. Oh, on a related note, on my way out there, I did see actually heading on this direction, there was a sapphire blue Cayenne coming this way.
Yeah, that's a nice car. It's been up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Give him a thumbs up. He did look at me.
Oh, I need to move over.
Yeah.
I am still intrigued by, like, there is definitely a difference between the sports car motor, the sports car Porsche people and the SUV Porsche people. Like, 'cause the sports car people, everybody waves at each other.
I know. I've never gotten anybody to wave at me in an SUV Porsche, ever. They're too busy running their important life, I guess, to be silly and friendly. I don't know. I would expect
That is a really
Boxster
clean-
people to always wave, you know?
Yeah, they pretty much do.
These are the most disrespected Porsche people in modern history. And they're in the
Oh, I
best
ended up
looking
getting-
car. That's what's crazy. It's the best looking fucking Porsche.
Oh, it absolutely is. I was chatting with the dude who was driving the Lexus, and
Yeah.
apparently he wants one of these.
Good.
I guess he's friends with Vic.
But we'll have to, when I splice all this video together, we'll send it to him so he can drool and figure out which options to order. Or at least ones to, you know, which one to go pursue in the used market.
Yeah,
But shit, you know, I
we
mean,
chatted
I think people would be
chatted
happy.
about it a little bit.
I think people would be happy with just a base 718 with no options.
I think so too.
A bright
Well,
yellow
I mean,
or a
shit, that's-
bright red. I mean, zero options. I mean, just, you know, minimal, maybe $1,000 worth of customizability that you can do. You know, to not have a paragraph
Yeah.
of badging on the back or something. But even just the base 2
Well-
liter would be fine.
Well, that's the thing. You know, that's a 300 horsepower motor. It's turbocharged, and especially around here, it's you know, you're still gonna get most of your power back. You know.
Yeah, and it's gonna, you want to light, if you're gonna get that car, you don't want to lighten it up with all these crazy options. You want it light. You can keep that car under 3,000 pounds. You need
Yeah.
to do it. That's the whole purpose of it. It's the experience of that car. You know, it's everything that the
Yeah.
people that have Miatas like, with 3 times the power. You know, double the power and better handling and really nice things to touch and wider and safer and, you know, it's that
Better
sa-
looking.
Better looking. I mean, obviously the looks are subjective, but obviously, you know, we think that it's a better looking car.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Indies are nice,
Well,
but they're not Boxsters.
No, they're not. Well, and that's the thing too. Like the way, especially the way the current this generation is 718. Because to me, like there are subtle differences. Like the 718 is the 982 versus the 981 is really, it's almost. I mean, obviously they changed the chassis designation on it, but it's almost more of an evolutionary change than it is a full chassis change. To me, the difference between the 987 and the 981 is greater than the difference between the 981 and the 982, like a lot greater. But especially when they changed on this one to the more pronounced side vents and everything, it makes the car look so much neater.
Yeah, I like the looks of the 982. And they do sound good. I mean, I don't think they sound like Subarus at all. And when we've seen those run around the track, they sound nice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they sound good. You know.
They do. But honestly, what did it for me was the interior noise. Like driving the car quietly, to me, sounded too much like a Subaru. That's actually why I started flipping the other way with it.
Well, and plus you could save a lot of money and get a better sounding car. I mean, right?
Yeah. Although I will, you know, the 365 horsepower with the turbo would be kind of nice. That would be tuned. Good Lord, you can hit an easy 450 with that car.
Oh, can you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how much they depreciate. The big question is, well, we'll see how they do, because they just haven't been selling that many of them.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's a matter of people wanting the six, or if it's just, you know, the overall market for sports cars.
Or the fact that everyone that wants a Boxster has one, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's entirely possible too. It's definitely not like it was when they were selling, you know, 12,000 of them with the 986.
yeah, and it's like if you have a 981 already that's basically looking the same and it sounds better, what's the motivation to go spend another 80 grand?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for you to put the power down that you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are you selling you more power in a package that's going to be another 40 or 50 grand, net of trade-in, and you don't get the whale, and it's just kind of demotivating as to why you do that. Now maybe if you're coming out of a 986 or 987, yeah, you go to this 982, and that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, that's exactly where I was coming from when I started shopping. And that's part of the reason I was thinking about it was because it is that much more car. But again, it comes back to that it's not 20 to 40 grand better than this car.
Your auto lights are very sensitive.
Yes, they are.
You go under that little underpass and they turn on. Or that overpass.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah. Mine do not do that. But it would, I mean, if you could get a base 718, just base, and like I said, not a lot of options, not a lot of shit put on it, so you keep it under 60 grand. Oh, it would be so glorious to take delivery in Zuffenhausen and drive that motherfucker for a month and all over Europe. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah. That would be very cool. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. See, now you got me thinking about it. God damn you.
Well, and at some point you got to get rid of the 987, and the 981 becomes your beater car.
Damn it.
It's like, Dan,
I
thought you were going to get rid of the 987. He's like, I can't get rid of them. And at that point, then you just need to get a 986, and just collect them all.
Well, honestly, when I get up to that point, it's not going to be a 982. It's going to be a 981 Spider. And then I get my, 375, 400 horsepower, 3.8 in a lighter car with manual.
Yeah, and then the car that you're driving goes away, and then you get a 982 to replace what you're driving. So you have a 982 and the Spider.
Yes.
I like that combo.
Yeah. See, that totally works. Get a PDK in that one.
Yep. I mean, the PDK and the manual, because obviously I was wrong. The Spider is not available in the PDK in that generation. But it was in the prior generation. 987.2. You could get it.
Yeah. And I have seen those when looking. God, it's getting warm in here. I got my jacket on, and the sun is beating on me, and I am
look at this guy in this Tahoe flying by, man. He was coming up on me so fast. Woo!
Yeah. We got our exit in 2.5 miles. Oh, nice clip there.
Yeah.
Double lane change. Beautiful. Crushing it.
I mean, he is just floating and bouncing. GM Fisher style. Bodied by Fisher, baby.
Suspension by Sealy Posturepedic.
Danny's Corvette sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't sound as good as that C7, whatever that was, that flew up the freaking hill. That was insane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that thing was incredible.
The Mustang sounded decent, but it didn't sound as good, actually.
Yeah, honestly, it was, with the top down for me, it was too loud. Because he went rolling by and my ear was ringing.
Oh, wow. I'd like to hear, I've never really heard Steve's GT350 at full whale in a scenario or a situation like that,
Oh, yeah, that thing's glorious. We're going to move over, coming up on a round road.
Yep.
All right, can we make make it around. No, I don't think we can. We'll drop it behind.
This guy in red's coming up in the little 3, so
Yep.
let him go. He's all in a hurry.
Yep. She had her phone out too.
Of course. We'll let Andrew Lake know. He can go patrol the community and try to find out who she is. Danny needs to get some stock wheels or some wheels that fit under that for daily use, and use those big ones for the track or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, he probably won't keep it that long. Maybe he won't put money into it.
Oh, good God, I am roasting in here.
Did you notice that when we passed Leo's car, it was totally blue like yours?
No, I didn't see that. I saw the purple.
So I didn't see purple at all. In fact, I thought it was a completely different Abarth, but I'm like, it's got to be him. And but I was like, damn it looks like sapphire blue. The sun had, that iridium, or I don't know, what do you call it? Multicolor. Yeah. It really it changed massively. And then when we stopped at the lake, it was completely purple.
Yeah, I don't think I even saw his car until he took off, and even then, to me, it looked purple. And then I saw him when we were at the lake, so he was right behind you. Well, my car was clean this morning.
Yep. Yeah, it looked good yesterday, at least.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm hearing some popcorn. I see an underpass. Everyone grab your butt.
Yeah. So much noise. Did all that, didn't even break 40 miles an hour.
I can't believe how amazing it is today.
Oh, I know, man. This is fantastic.
Yeah, she's got that big old phone thing, like obstructing half her view out the window. It's pretty funny. Heaven forbid us not know where we're going, or not be informed of everything going on in everyone else's life while we drive down the road.
Oh, absolutely. You have to know. You absolutely have to know exactly what's going on. Nice. Oh, that was weird. That was cool.
That was just second gear.
Well, just the noise from inside and outside.
Oh, yeah. That Mustang's going where we're going.
Yeah.
We made good time.
Yeah, we did. Go on. All right. I'm going to hang this up.
All right, take care.
Hey, fucking fun.